So let's step back and understand. Essentially what this lawsuit is doing is attacking the ability of the FDA to determine what is safe and healthy for the American people to use, as has been prescribed by a doctor. Now, contextually, understand the FDA has been doing this for 80+ years. And their process is it is medically reviewed, scientists, peer-reviewed, and they take it very seriously. And when they make a decision something is safe and effective, it is because it is actually safe and effective. Right. Mifepristone, they made that decision about that medication 20 years ago.
Right.
And it has been proven to be safe and effective for its prescribed use for those 20 years. These folks who are politicians are now encouraging lawyers to encourage a judge, not a medical doctor, to decide and put in place their judgment over the judgment of the FDA. I ask people, you should, if you understand what this means, understand that you ought to go and look in your medicine cabinet and look at the drugs the medications that you may have there. Could be anything from insulin to what you need for blood pressure, chemotherapy drugs are arguably up to attack. This is so wide-sweeping and wide-ranging in terms of the implications. And it is also another example of how we are in the midst of a healthcare crisis, where we are literally at a place where politicians urging lawyers, by the way, they forum shopped in finding that judge, are trying to replace the decisions of medical professionals about a medication that is prescribed and is safe and effective for its use. Safe and healthy, safe and effective, safe and effective, safe and effective, safe and effective. Well, on the mifepristone issue, for example, we are fighting in the courts. We're going to keep fighting, because we also know that the majority of folks who receive this kind of care receive it through mifepristone. And so we are dealing with that. We are fighting on also the point that is a fundamental point. No one, regardless of their gender or condition, should be denied access to emergency health care.
Right.
We have got to understand the connection between this issue and elections. Elections matter. We've seen that in the work that has been done in the various states. We need a United States Congress who understands and appreciates the exact point that has been made at this table. It is the individual right, the privacy right of people to make this decision, not having their government make this decision for them.
Yeah.
And let me tell you something. Our president, Joe Biden, when that legislation gets passed to codify and put in place the protections of Roe v. Wade, Joe Biden will sign it.
All right.
So let's make sure everybody that you know is registered to vote, like you were talking about. Let's make sure that people understand the power of their voice on this, because we've seen how it has an impact. And so much of this discussion that you brought us together for is about really fully appreciating that this is not some conceptual issue.
That's right.
It's about real people every day who, for the most part, are silently suffering. And we as a society that should care enough to vote.
Well, the single most important thing I can say is to vote.
Your tenacity is something that we all look up to.
We throw the word master class around here all the time, but that sarcastic, shady clap you do was epic.
Well, thank you for that. May God bless America. Can I get an amen?
Amen and a woman.
Can I get an amen?
Vote, vote, vote.